Here with Jared Ewing at
Hello.
Sanctioned Sneaker Collective.
You got it.
We'll talk about that name in a minute. But first, just share with me the notion of tennis shoe sneaker enthusiasm. I guess I need to be educated.
Yeah. So, I think really the genesis of it started probably in the Michael Jordan era, when NBA players started to really become cultural influencers before the term influencer, had any of the connotations it has now. And really the Jordan 1, which I'm sure there are some sitting around here I can grab. This is a Jordan 1. This was the first shoe Michael Jordan not wore, but that was his shoe, his namesake shoe. And this still has become kind of a moniker for, or the face of the start of collectible sneakers. So, as NBA players particularly started to become much more influential in culture, we started to see a bleed of the sneakers moving from off the court into everyday life. And it certainly wasn't just to basketball, but basketball was the start of it. And it created this interesting market where there is sports memorabilia collectors that get really into the sports aspect side of it and the history behind it. There's the fashion people who sneakers were kind of just part of their outfit, and it can be a really creative, colorful way to express individuality. And then there became this tertiary market that's really newer in the last 10 years, which is the ability to buy and sell shoes for a profit. And so out of those three, you've got collectors of shoes and kind of the history of shoes that get people excited. You've got people who just are shoe enthusiasts that wear the shoes. And then you've got these people that exist in the market just buying and selling shoes. The difference is between this and a lot of collectible markets is the wearability. Now it's a crazy craze. I mean, you got kids from 6 to like people my age and older that have been into it for forever, and bringing a lot of different types of people together over a common.
So show us what you got.
The store is kind of separated by style. So this whole wall is going to be classic Jordans, number 2, which would be the second shoe that he wore, all the way up to, we stop at about style 14 or 15. After that, Michael Jordan retired and the shoes aren't nearly as popular. In this glass wall here, these are going to be much more rare shoes or higher dollar shoes. So, for instance, this was a collaboration between Kobe Bryant and a company in LA called Undefeated, and a pretty rare shoe. We got here and here some old LeBrons that are super rare these days. This one's a fun one, a fuzzy shoe. It was a collaboration between Nike and the Grateful Dead. So it's called the Dead Bear? We call it the Grateful Dead, sure. Shoe.
It's fuzzy.
It is fuzzy. We've got a shoe here, collaboration with a band De La Soul and Nike. And so these are all shoes that are worth significantly more money than the average shoe. So
how much for the fuzzy green shoe?
I think they're $1,100.
Oh, okay. Father's Day.
Yeah, there we go. The stories behind them are just awesome. You have your kind of just typical Jordans, but then there's also these pieces that have meaning and have stories. I can use the word story 9 times.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
So yeah, I mean, I could. This is part of my excitement. I could get here and tell you a story about 90% of the shoes in here.
When I reached out to you, you said that the signature on my email said Dittmer, and that meant something to you.
Yes, it was a small world, and immediately I was flooded back with memories. So my mom was one of 5 girls, and her parents built a house in Dittmer and then built a house for one of their daughters. So my aunt and my grandmother and grandfather both lived off Ridge Road.
Was using the family name, folks?
No, Crasciolo.
Say it again.
Crasciolo?
Crasciolo.
Crasciolo.
So-and-so's great job.
Yeah. I could get you to the house, but I don't know the address. But we spent summers out there. It really epitomized me, a kid being a kid. I mean, we would go run in the woods for hours and hours and do nothing but do everything all at the same time, ride our bikes up and down Ridge Road. And I remember going to the video stores and renting videos and Nintendo games and going to the Walmart and asking if I could have a goldfish while playing and declining.
So your store, your shop, has a pretty impressive philosophy that goes along with it that impressed me when I heard you on Channel 5. You said at one point, the shoes could all go away as long as the people were still here, and that would be the most important thing to you. Explain to me your mission statement.
Yeah, so our mission statement, though it's not written anywhere, it's part of the values of the company, and really what we use as the litmus test for whether or not we're doing what we have set out to do, is to bridge the different. To use sneakers because they have a unique opportunity in the way that they connect a variety of racial demographics. They connect a variety of economic demographics. They cross gender lines, they cross age lines. Really, sneakers are a place that unique and different people that would not be normally connected can come together and have a shared passion. And so our mission is to bridge the different, to use this tool, sneakers, that we have to connect people in a way that they don't connect in their everyday life. Growing up, I had an incredible experience that included being exposed to a variety of different walks of life. Whether it be, I spent a lot of time in really affluent neighborhoods, but also spent a lot of time in really economically challenged neighborhoods and everything in between. Growing up, my experience, I lived in Chesterfield, but also spent a lot of time in the inner city. I always like to tell a story just because I think it illustrates is in 1999, I was the only white male in the 1999 May Day parade. Literally the only person in the entire parade. And growing up, I didn't know division. I didn't know separation. I knew inclusivity. I knew connectedness. And it wasn't until I became an adult and really was able to take my view from a kind of myopic childhood view to a 30,000 feet view and started to understand that's not how the community exists. That's not how the world exists. There's a lot of division. There's a lot of separation. There's a lot of disconnectedness. And so as an adult, I've always gravitated towards things that united people. It I think plays into some of the need for me to return to that innocence and that belief that we are all kind of human and one. And as an adult, some life things kind of happened, and I fell really in love with sneakers a few years back now, and that was the first time that I felt people starting to connect again. Like, I had friends that looked different than me. My business partner here is 19 years old. There's not a world in which I would be in business with a 19-year-old. And sneakers did that in a really unique way, and I grabbed it, I held on to it, and I didn't want to let it go, and I wanted to share that with other people. I wanted to give that experience and grow that experience. And so that's really where the term Together We Rise comes from. Is through connectedness, through sharing common things in common and growing that commonality, we have the ability to become more than if we are individuals and stay in our own little bubbles.
That's great. Making the world a better place through sneakers.
Giving it a try.
So this is not a question that guys usually ask, what are you wearing?
What am I wearing? So what's funny is I have too many shoes. I was telling you, I have not worn the same pair of shoes yet this year. It's embarrassing. I keep a little schedule and everything. These are, so right now...
We have pills for that.
Yeah, right? Right now, a big popular trend in the market, though it's been around for forever, is these shoes called Dunks. And Dunks were originally a basketball shoe created in the 90s for college athletes. They ended up in all the discount bins at your TJ Maxx and Marshalls. And what happened is skateboarders started adopting these shoes because they were durable and they were cheap. And so eventually the Dunk line from Nike turned into a skateboard shoe and was their premier competitive skate shoe. Well, the artistry behind these skateboard shoes, because there are so many artists in the skateboard community, has always been amazing. They're actually right behind us, but crazy colors and materials and just different, the construction behind them. Wow, I get all jazzed up about that stuff. Yeah, so just a fun pair. I actually got these, again, one of the beauty of sneakers is the stories that come behind it. I was up in Chicago for the pandemic, not for the pandemic, I didn't go to celebrate it. I was up there during the pandemic, and we were looking for any sneaker shop to go to. I was just like, I want to go see a new shop. And there was only one open, and it was a barber shop and a sneaker shop in one. And we just kind of stumbled in there and got talking to the owner. His name is Mello, and an amazing person. He's actually been a community integrator in Chicago for decades, and The man has more reach and more connections with different types of people. An incredible person when you talk about diversity and inclusion. And he let me pick through some of the shoes in his collection to buy and take home. And so that's the beauty of a lot of these shoes too, is when you wear them, I don't think of, well, what does the money cat mean to me? I'm like, where did I get this shoe? Oh, Born with Soul in Chicago. Oh, I can't remember meeting Mello and just the stories, and it floods back memory. Clearly I get excited.
A new shoe and a new friend.
Yes, yes. Many new shoes and hopefully lifelong friendships. Shoes to me, particularly for men, can be like their handbags. Like it's a way to express yourself and something that also is functional. You know, I say the first thing you should do is find shoes that are comfortable and don't make your back hurt or your legs hurt at the end of the day.